Hi, welcome to Pivot with PJ. With me today, I have architect SSR. What does home mean to you?
I look at home as a place, as a safe place to sleep. Using your own bed, using your own restroom, that gives the comfort.
Your personal growth is something that changed your perspective of life.
I believe in something called think for all.
What is you here?
I don't know how to explain. I don't know the deeper meaning of it, but I've always had conversations with myself. I'm more of a loner, more of a shy person. I was very.
I'm PJ, and I'm here to navigate the bends of the roads with you. I'm looking forward to it. Let's get on this ride together on Pivot with PJ. Hi, welcome to Pivot with PJ. This is PJ here, your host. With me today, I have architect SSR. Um, if you're an architect or studying architecture or even remotely interested in the space, you won't need an introduction to SSR. For others, SSR is the founder and CEO of SpaceMush. They are architecture design firm specializing in small spaces. He's also founder of DHub, which is the number two community for architects in India. SSR also introduced virtual augmented reality for interior design with Finteriors. He's currently working on an AI initiative, Prompt Architects, and also has a sales community with Freshhawks. Um, he's a regular speaker. He's a member at BNI. He's also a member at Roundtable. In fact, he's president of Roundtable 82. Regular speaker in panels and other forums. He's active on social media. He's an influencer in social media. He's a Parai artist and a dancer, a man of strong values, and I would say even stronger ethics, a remarkable human, um, dynamic entrepreneur. SSR, welcome. Can I call you Shiva in the podcast? Is that okay?
As you wish. As you wish. Thank you, Prasanna, for the wonderful introduction.
And I also have to start with this, right, Shiva? This is something that I really want to start with because I recently saw your LinkedIn post about your experience at Crescent College, where
Yes.
you responded to a student, and it was a moment of epiphany for you, a moment of self discovery sort of thing. You put it very eloquently. You said that thread that binds all the things that you do is two things. It's communication, but more specifically, it's about strategizing communications and communicating strategies. Is that, did I get it right? I think that's what you mentioned, more or
Correct.
less.
I do only two
uh,
things.
yeah, yeah. So can you double click on that, and what does it really mean you say that?
Okay, so I mean, we had a conversation 1.5, 2 months back when we met in ITC, right? So the last 8 months have been very tough on me. Multiple things happen. It's not that we are faced with issues for the first time. I mean, you're in architecture. Every day is a day filled with problem, and you're used to it. But what happened was uh, all the 5 6 things that are supposed to be good, all 5 6 of them failed. If there are 5 things happening and if one goes wrong, the other four are good, then you'll manage. So everything was going haywire. uh, of late I picked up something, because thanks to the mentoring I do at DH for architects, I cannot afford to be negative. I cannot afford to be negative. Come what may, I have to be positive, because there are hundreds of messages I handle in Instagram, LinkedIn, WhatsApp. All the community members, they trust me, and they think that if I ask a question, he's going to give an answer. And even if I'm the most down, I mean, I'll be knocked out that day, but then I'll have to be very choosy with the choice of words. I have to be positive, right? So that is something that really helped me transform in the last 3 years of doing DHub for architects. That's one thanks that I would like to give my community. So since I've trained myself, then I tell people like, okay, fine. If you are in a situation, I give this coffee bean story, where a student was problematic. I mean, he has some problem. The father tells, boil a potato, boil a egg, and boil a coffee bean for 15 minutes. The egg will be the same outside, but inside from a soft, it will become hard. The potato will be hard earlier, but outside and inside it will become what to call, it will change completely soft, both inside and outside. The egg changes only inside, not outside. Rather, the coffee bean, it will be the same hard thing, but it will give the aroma and the taste to the environment water. So I did a project called Coffee Bean 8 years back to a client. He named the project Coffee Bean. He is the one who told me the story. He said, in life, the situation is never going to be conducive for you. It is always going to be different. You have to be ready. But when you're facing with a tough situation, do you want to be the potato, change inside and outside because of the external environment? Or you want to be the egg, which looks okay from the outside, but inside it has totally changed? Or you want to be the coffee bean. You don't change, but then the positivity in terms of the aroma and smell, you give it to the environment. I think I took that seriously for 8 years. And when I did the mentorship, I tell this to people. When I tell this to people, when you say that you're happy, you become happy, right? So when I keep telling this, I myself transformed as a person. So the last 8 months were struggle, but one good thing was I was always positive. I knew this is going to get over. How am I going to get over? So I always say this: in life, when you're stuck and you think that this is the end of the road, trust me, from my own experience, that's when there's a new path ahead. All you have to do is ask, how do I overcome this? Okay, I don't know an answer for this. How do I find the answer for this? Okay, this project is going into deep, trouble. How do I pull the project out of the trouble? Because mind is very powerful. The moment we say how, it will start thinking answers for it. That is what I was doing for the last
Right.
8 months. My problem was doing diverse things. I was doing revenge entrepreneurship. When I said from 2020, I had to start everything on my own. I was very successful in establishing Space Mesh, very successful in establishing DHub, and then I had a tech startup which didn't go as well as I would have liked, but I stopped the operation, shifted to someone, and I kept getting opportunities. I've got more than 30, 40 opportunities, out of which I've picked 3, 4, and I'm working on it. So now what I've done is, because I've had the experience of something not going the way I want, in spite of me putting my heart and soul, putting together a team, great product, still I couldn't pull it off. Then I realized you're not a superhuman to always succeed. Okay, this happened in 22 years when I was in UK, when I didn't get a job. I've never failed, and I didn't get a job. I had to struggle in a supermarket. Again at 38 it is happening, but I'm more wiser and more experienced. I said, this time I'm going to pick and choose only that thing comes naturally to me, which is speaking and making people understand what I say. So that's when I got clarity. When I spoke to you, I didn't have clarity. The reason why I spoke to you was I needed some clarity, right? Like you, I spoke with Sudarshan. I've spoken quite a few times. In December I spoke with Sudarshan once. I and Sudarshan keep speaking now and then, right? Like that I spoke with you. And then I spoke with Ramachandran, my best friend from school. He's an entrepreneur himself, so I spoke to him. I keep speaking with my wife often. And like this, few people, like 4 5 people, whom I thought maybe they'll be, giving me something that I am not looking. Sometimes in life the answer will be right in front of your eyes, and you'll not be looking at it because you're looking for a
Right.
complex solution. The solutions are always simple. I found that simple solution. What happened was, I wrote all the things that I'm part of, and I'm not. I mean, I'm part of 8 initiatives, not just ventures. Anything that I'm taking as a responsibility. There were eight, and there were only 7 days. I want to work only for 5 days. எல்லாத்துலேயும் என்ன பண்ணுறேன், what am I doing in everything பார்த்தா, I speak, and then I ideate and strategize. These are the things that come naturally to me, and I'm good at it, and this is what is in demand. Then I erased everything, and I said, SSR is going to strategize his communication, and he has to communicate his strategies to others. You call it sales, you get money. You call it marketing, people are aware of what we are selling. You call it branding, you tell the story or the value systems. It's a public speaking, you want the audience to either clap or laugh. If it's your teammate, they have to get motivated and work towards the north star. And anything, if it's a real video, it has to be shared or it has to be commented. That's how the algo works. If it's a LinkedIn, you should project yourself as a thought leader. If it's Instagram, you have to project you have to project yourself as a inspiring motivational this thing. And within networking events, right, I'm part of roundtable, then you have to come across as a very sincere tabler and responsible tabler. So I realized that I'm only communicating and I'm strategizing. It can be written, it can be video, it can be anything. So that gave clarity. By the way, as I said, the post was to make it viral in LinkedIn, that's it. But then I got the idea a couple of days or 3 days before that. Okay. because only
Mm.
then, the last 1 week or so, I was having clarity. And luckily for me, they asked, like, they had 5 questions to pick from the students, and they asked, the one first
Mm.
question they asked was, you do multiple things. That is a question that everyone was asking me, and I was asking myself as well. All my well wishers, my friends, know, the moment I call and say, "Hey, I've got a new idea," "Vadavanga vechidu." Just do what you're doing. Focus on space mission. Most of them, invariably, everybody who advised me. I mean, you gave me the same advice. Sudarshanan gives me the same advice. But I think that is the you are giving me a safe answer because you are being responsible, and everybody wants only good for me, so you're giving. But what is happening inside my brain? I have to take a call. So I divided it in such a way. I'm doing only speaking. I'm only communicating. I'm strategizing. I'm going to do it for everything, and it is just different verticals in one business. And I created a team after that. After your meet, I have a chief of staff now for helping me with the technical implementation. So once you strategize, once you speak more, your brain is wired only to do that, and you cannot implement stuff. You cannot implement stuff. So unless you implement stuff, you get mental obesity. All the knowledge in, and you're not taking action.
Right.
I was suffering from mental obesity. So I hired a chief of staff for implementation. I hired someone to help me, and I did that. So that is good. I mean, what I told was, and that is very very important as well, because people get often confused with all these jargons: branding, marketing, sales, team building, motivation, reels, and everything. End of the day, it's all communication, and I have my own definition for communication. People, most of them, when you ask what is communication, they say confidently putting across your thoughts, right? From childhood I was told that. But then what's the use of just putting across your thought? Getting the desired result from the person sitting across the screen or the table or the audience, that's the purpose of communication. And that's why I gave the
Right.
example of a child crying. That is the best example of crying. I mean, that's communication. Until it is being fed, it will not stop, right? It is very adamant, and that is communication.
Yeah.
So if your
It's
customer is
effective.
not paying you money, what's the point of doing sales? That's it. So if you understand the fundamentals of it, because we don't understand complex things, so I try to decode it in a simple way. That was thing. But for
Right.
LinkedIn, I did that. This thought came like 3 4 days before that.
No, very interesting. I was intrigued when I saw that, and I made a note of it to ask you this when we spoke today.
Thank you for having me, and it was a pleasure and honor to be on your podcast. And wish you all the best.
Thank you. I appreciate it. It's always a pleasure. Thank you. Thank you.